Hey, what's up guys, so originally I was not going to do a video response to this because I think a lot of bigger YouTubers and more important YouTubers have told more important things about this video. So I didn't want to give my 2 cents on it, but I'm still going to do it because I'm going to talk about something that I don't think that a lot of YouTubers have discussed, which is the comedic standpoint. Philip DeFranco discussed it a lot in his response to this video, but I don't think enough people have talked about this. Because what offended me most in this video was the fact that Nicole, first of all, calls herself a comedian, and second of all, uses the excuse of comedy in her attempt to shame people, which was what she did. Because it's very simple. One simple thing that she does wrong that people like Jimmy Carr and George Carlin and Ricky Gervais and people like that, the thing that they did differently than Nicole was that they talked about it in a more general subject. They talked about obesity and people being fat in a more general sense. They didn't pick a specific group of people and attack them and shame them, which was exactly what Nicole did. She even went even more precisely than that and shamed just one family and one fat kid, which is why she gets this much hate from it. Because where the true talent comes in and being a good comedian is finding a middle ground. That's what I believe, at least. Finding a middle ground where you can talk about serious topics and still make it funny without offending people. It is possible. Just look at these great comedians that I just mentioned. I am a huge fan of stand-up comedy. I am a huge fan of stand-up comedy. I have 2 stand-up shows that I'm going to just in October alone. I love stand-up comedy. And I do think that I understand the concept of stand-up comedy. And Nicole, I don't think she does. I don't think she does. Because the talent comes in where you can find the middle ground. If you can find the middle ground, you're a somewhat decent, somewhat talentful comedian. And Nicole, I don't think she has the talent to do that, and that's where she goes wrong. That was just what offended me most about this video, because Nicole telling us that she's a comedian is a lie. I want to quote a girl that made a response to this video, I'll link it in the description, where she said, "A good comedian doesn't need to tell you that they're a comedian all the time." Which Nicole does, you know? She tells people all the time, I'm just a comedian, is it just for comedic purposes and all that stuff, and tries to hide behind comedy. And she doesn't need to do that. Instead of using comedy just as something to hide behind, she should use it as something to stand forward from, and saying, here's my thoughts in a funny way to hopefully not offend people. That's the difference stand-up comedians are making. Is that they are bringing attention to really serious topics, but in a manner so that people will not get offended or mad. That's the true gift of comedy. You know, especially provoking comedy like this. So Nicole, I do not think you're a comedian, because you don't understand the concept of comedy. But besides that, I don't really give a shit about what she said in the video, because this is also why I don't do reply videos normally. Life just seems to be too short to focus on these sort of things. I'm not gonna spend my few years on Earth being mad about these things. I'm just not. It seems so ridiculous to me. But no offense to the people like the Amazing Atheist that does this for a living. That's cool, man, awesome. But it just seems ridiculous to me that people get so upset about this and so rage about this because it's just another internet fad. Just like Alex from Target and the fucking dress and all that stuff. And it just seems ridiculous to me. So just promise me you won't spend more time being upset about these things. Please. Go out and use your life as for something productive instead. It's not too hard, man, and it's really fun. Also, that dress was blue and black. Bye, guys.